Yesterday we were seeing about the absence of prejudice in the Vedic literature, mantras of Rig, Yajus, Saman. So the question came, since Ramayana is more urbanized than Veda, we may expect some kind of prejudices in Ramayana. So can we deal with that? Does Ramayana have prejudices? That is the question. Now let us come to the answer. Again, Ramayana, Valmiki's Ramayana, let us get confined. Rama's exile to Rama's coronation, the story, the narration from Rama's exile to Rama's coronation, in this text, nowhere we can see these kinds of prejudices. Nowhere no human class is considered to be inferior, or no human class is stamped as bad or evil, so on and so forth. This is what we see. Not only that, the conference name is Samadharma in Ramayana. Valmiki's Ramayana starts with the idea of Samadharma. Narada is describing the virtues of Rama. There he says, Sarva Samaha. Rama is equal to all. Arya Sarva Samaschaiva Sadaika Priyadarshanaha. Aryaha, he is noble. Sarva Samaha, he is equal to all. Sadaika Priyadarshanaha can be easily taken as he is always handsome. So fine, this is fine. This is not a twisted meaning. But the word Sadaika Priyadarshanaha, when I see this word, it conveys some other meaning also. Darshana means seeing. Priya means love. Sadaika Priyadarshanaha means one who sees the beings always with love. That kind of meaning the word, the statement conveys to me. Anyhow, this is about Samadharma in Ramayana. And later also you can see the same spirit in Ayodhya Kanda. Sarvesham hisa dharmatma varnanam krute dhayam chaturnam hi vayasthanam tenate tam anuvrataha. Rama showers affection to all communities, all classes of people in Ayodhya. Therefore, they all are following him. It's a very clear indication of Samadharma. And yesterday we saw, I need not further explain, how Rama is lovable to Shabari, who belongs to Hunter clan. Rama is lovable to Nishadaraj, Guha. Rama is lovable to, Rama showers compassion or affection on Guha. Rama showers affection on Jatayu. That's how it goes, the story goes. He accepts even Rakshasa Vibhishana in his group, Sarvaloka Sharanyaya. This is how Rama reveals Samadharma. So, some doubts have to be clarified here regarding establishing Ramayana as a prejudice-free literature. Few doubts have to be clarified. Doubt number one. Say Rakshasas in Ramayana, they are considered as a separate group, and Valmiki calls them as wild and cruel. Not only wild, If it is wild, it is okay. Cruel, cunning, that kind of nature. One may ask, is it not a prejudice? It cannot be taken as prejudice in my view, because Valmiki never sees these Rakshasas as a sapient group at all. Okay, when you go through Valmiki's Ramayana, from Valmiki's point of view, if we have to tell, Rakshasas, Valmiki never considers these Rakshasas as a group belonging to sapiens. They don't have sapient nature. For example, they fly in sky. All Rakshasas are capable of flying in sky. Whether you believe it or not, whether you take it as historical or mythological, I don't bother. Okay. I am talking about what Valmiki says, that's it. To make it historical, you need to find those Rakshasas in some human sapient group, though that is your business. You may do, please continue. But what I am telling here is what Valmiki says. Okay. Valmiki never sees these Rakshasas as sapiens at all, please understand. Okay. Rakshasas were existing as a huge group throughout the world. It's a separate group. Say, even in science, they were talking about various groups like Neanderthals and Erectus. I am not telling Rakshasas and Neanderthals as one, please understand. I am just giving an example, that's all. But I am also surprised to think, to see, Valmiki talks about various groups like Rakshasas, Vanaras, and Manushyas, who have some resemblance of human race, like talking in a language and conducting a society, kingdom, rulership, so on and so forth, even practicing several Vedic rituals. That is how Valmiki moves. It's very interesting. I am surprised how the science also talks about various groups like Neanderthals, Erectus, and Sapiens, okay, and a few other groups also. I have forgotten the names. I think one group is named as Florensis. Am I right? Florensis. Say, Erectus in science is a separate group which has monkey resemblance, which is probably half monkey, half human. And science recognizes once that kind of Erectus was existing in the world. No, science time of Erectus is not matching with the Vanara time of Valmiki. All these things one may argue. Yes, for that only I am telling, I am not telling that Erectus and Vanaras are one. I am not telling Neanderthals and Rakshasas are one. But somehow these varieties exist both in Valmiki and science. This is very interesting. Valmiki never considered Rakshasas belonging to human species at all, especially sapient species at all, that we have to understand. Then who are Rakshasas? Can they fit in archaeology? That is not my business. Okay. Please leave me. I am just sticking to the epic, that's all. Okay. So Rakshasas in Ramayana, they were highly urbanized, and they were also described as cannibals. Urbanized people can be cannibals. We see some persons in Africa and in USA also, cannibalistic people we see. Okay, we have evidence for all those things. It's not that if someone becomes urbanized, he will not be a cannibal. If someone is a tribal, he must be a cannibal. All these things are prejudices. Okay, so I don't feel anything wrong in it. If Ravana is a cannibal or Rakshasas are cannibals, how such a kind of one who has built such a kind of wonderful city can remain as cannibal? Valmiki imposed all these things upon him. I don't feel like that. I can show n number of cannibals in USA even now. Okay, the most developed country of the world. Coming back to the point, Rakshasas. If someone says, see, in science they say, in biology, in science, when those who research on fossils, they say the Neanderthals were cruel. It's a fact, it is not a prejudice. If someone says tigers are cruel, it's a fact. You can't take it as a prejudice. In the same way, Valmiki is not bringing Rakshasas into human species. Valmiki never says the Magadha people are cruel, Anga people are cruel, or Chola or Pandya people are cruel. These terms are coming in Valmiki Ramayana. Pandya, Chola, or Magadha. He is not talking like that. Neither he picks up some community and says these people are cruel, like Shudras are cruel, Vaishyas are cruel, that Vaishyas are very cunning. These kinds of statements you can't see in Valmiki. He is considering Rakshasas are cruel. Not only he considers, several other characters also see Rakshasas in that way. Okay, and that is how it is. And it can be taken as if a biologist, after researching, says Neanderthals were cruel. Okay, so it's a fact. If someone says tigers are cruel, it's a fact. In that way only we can take Rakshasas too. This is my view. Let us come to Vanaras. Even among Vanaras, Valmiki gives a statement, Vanaras are chapalas. In several places he says that. Vanaras themselves are telling like that. We are chapalas. Others also say that. Okay. Chapala means, I think, how to translate it? Fickle-mindedness. Fickle-minded. Vanaras are fickle-minded. This also has to be seen in that way only. See, again, Valmiki doesn't perceive these Vanaras as a group in humans, as a group in sapiens, to be particular. Okay. They may have some sapient features, but they have some features which we can't see in sapiens. Same, like flying on the sky. Can we take them as monkeys? Next question come. Can be taken as monkeys? Excuse me. Yeah, let me come to that point later. Vanara monkey equation. Now let us see here, let us focus on some other thing. Vanaras, Valmiki calls us chapalas. Okay. Again, you need not take it as prejudice, because don't think that they belong to the sapient clan. Valmiki deals with them separately and they have their own unique features. Okay, fine. So, except these two, considering Vanaras as chapalas and Rakshasas as cruel, in the sapient groups, like Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Shudras, or like Angas, Vangas, Kalingas, Pundras and Magadhas and Kosalas and Kasis and Pandyas and Cholas or Mlechas. The word Mlecha comes in Ramayana. In Dasaratha's cow court, Mlechas were sitting. Mlechas charyascha echanye vanashailanta vasinaha. Okay. Among these groups, nowhere Valmiki considers any group as cruel or cheating or cunning or filthy. These kinds of views are not coming in Valmiki Ramayana. It's very important. Throughout the epic, you see a free flow and free movement of these beings. Of course, crossing the boundary also, Rama moves freely even with Rakshasas and Vanaras. If some Rakshasa wants to befriend himself with Rama, Rama is happily accepting that Vibhishana. And Vanaras, no doubt, he befriends with all Vanaras except Vali. And in fact, with Vali too. In his deathbed, Rama blesses him. This happens. Now a question can come. Yesterday we saw more you become urbanized, more is a possibility of the growth of rigid hierarchies and based on that prejudices. But Ramayana we see as an urbanized society. Definitely it is not as urbanized as Mahabharata society. Neither it is as rural as Vedic society. Definitely it is not as urbanized as a Gupta era. Okay. Which is far, far, far urbanized, greater urbanized than even Mahabharata. But Ramayana definitely has a kind of urbanization. It has an urbanization. And with such an urbanized level of Ramayana, how we see the absence of the human class prejudices in Ramayana? A vital question. There only, I want to share my idea. I must be correct. Okay. Regarding urbanization, when our urge to get developed is very fast, very quick, driven by ego, driven by greed, then prejudices can occur. Please understand. It's a very deep point, a deep concept. But regarding the development, if we are not very speed, very quick, if we are not greedy and if we are not ego driven, if we are in a very step by step method, if we are very methodical, the sutra is, if we see around while we are getting developed, if we see around, if we see all around, in the verge of development, if I am capable of seeing whether the flora fauna are also kept well, whether the people around me, the communities around me, whether they are also kept well, it's a kind of Ramarajya, Sarvam Muditamevasit, which our Prime Minister says. Whether it is practiced or not, that's a different thing. I'm not telling it is not practiced. We aspire it to practice. What is that? Sabke saath, sabka vikas. Okay. At least we wish to go in that path. Sabke saath, sabka vikas. Okay. It's not that if in a society, if there is an urge for development, and naturally, the richest part of that society will grow suddenly, and the poorest part of that society will be crushed like anything. This is what we see in the world history. Here only, several prejudices will be developed, and downtrodden will be crushed in the name of development. A speedy process will occur. You are not slow. Due to the greed, so many things will happen. Downtrodden will become victims of that society. This happens everywhere in the world, wherever urbanization, wherever development comes. This is not only a process in India or in China or in Europe. It happens everywhere in the world. Wherever you come across development or urbanization, in that society, already the rich part of that society will grow like anything, crushing the downtrodden. This is the world history. So if development happens in India, here also we have to see this. That is why in several eras of India in medieval age, a crushing, some prejudices based on that crushing. These things have happened in India too, unfortunately. In medieval age, this is a feature of medieval age. This is a feature of imperialism throughout the world. But Ramayana is a miraculous literature where you see development on one hand, and you see absence of prejudices on the other hand. This is Ramarajya. Sarvam Muditameva Seet. Okay. How this can happen? This is because those who want to get developed, they are concerned about the flora and fauna around. They are concerned about the downtrodden. They are concerned about the people who are existing in the last level of the society. Okay. From that, everybody has to get developed. With this process, which is very slow, its limitation is its slowness, but it will be steady. We have always the story of Panchatantra. Rabbit may run, but a tortoise will win. This is a foundation story. That is why India is a so strong, continuous, longest civilization of the world. Because India is tortoise, Kurmavatara. Okay. India is this tortoise. India will win. India slowly moves. Why it slowly moves? It is a kind of a big joint family, which have to uplift all. With this idea, India is moving further. So the term coined by our elders for this, in the Western world, they call it as development. Development, development, development. I think even the word development is used in the West only in last 200 years. Before that, they did not have that idea. This is my assumption. Whatever literature I read, based on that I am telling. I may be wrong. Development. But here, in India, long back, even before 3000 years, the word development has come. Okay. In Sanskrit, its terminology is Abhyudaya. Abhyudaya. Swami Desikan wrote a text named Yadava Bhyudaya. He did not name it as Brahmana Bhyudaya. He wrote it as Yadava Bhyudaya, Abhyudaya of Yadavas. This is Krishna's dream, vision, ambition, and how he developed the Yadavas. Okay. That is this Yadava Bhyudaya. Okay. Abhyudaya is a very important word. But Abhyudaya, you can't translate exactly it as development. There is a subtle difference between development and Abhyudaya. In Vaisheshika Sutra, I think Gautama is the author. Yeah. Nyaya Sutra. Okay. There, Nyaya Sutra is Gautama author. Then it is Kanabuk, Kanada. Yeah, Kanada is the author of Vaisheshika Sutra. Where comes this sutra? Yataha abhyudaya nisreyasa siddhihi sa dharmaha. Dharma is that through which abhyudaya and nisreyasa can be accomplished. Nisreyasa is spirituality. Now you leave it. I'm not going deeper into it now. Okay. I'm taking the word abhyudaya. So two dimensions of dharma, abhyudaya and nisreyasa. Okay. Nisreyasa is spiritual enhancement. Abhyudaya is nothing but what the Westerners now call as development. But the difference between Abhyudaya and development. Aya means movement. Aya. Ayagatau. Ut means upward. Udaya means upward movement. Udaya. They could have stopped just as Udaya. Upward movement or development. But they added on abhi as a prefix, which means development all around. Okay, abhyudaya means taking care of everything and moving further with around, all around. That kind of idea, even the word abhyudaya has that idea. So that slow progress can make us to enjoy the spirit of universal welfare, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. We can get developed also. We also can, lead a prejudice-free life. Both can be enjoyed. Unless we lead a prejudice-free life, we can't grow spiritually. Nisreyasa is not possible to a prejudice bound person. Please understand. Therefore, is very, very important is this prejudice freedom. Under this prejudice freedom, with the prejudice freedom, if we take Abhyudaya, and not only that, without prejudice freedom, as Nisrayasa is not possible, Abhyudaya is also not possible without prejudice freedom. That is very important. Okay, this is the thing. Yeah. And next point. Point number 1. No class among the sapiens is taken to be inferior in Ramayana. Point number 2. Animals were never considered to be inferior to humans. In such a huge literature, please understand. Again, it is not a Hanuman Chalisa or Vishnu Sahasranama. Someone asked me, that's why I tell. Vishnu Sahasranama also doesn't have prejudice. Hanuman Chalisa also doesn't have prejudice. This is a huge literature, vast literature. In such a vast literature, you never see this kind of prejudice that animals are, at least it has to be there. Animals and birds are inferior to humans. That statement has to come anywhere. That kind of statement never comes in Ramayana at all. Now let me clarify some Purva Pakshas. Okay, I'm just clarifying some Purva Pakshas in this lecture. Purva Paksha number 1. When Ravana comes to her asrama, Sita Devi condemns Ravana. There she says, "O Ravana, the difference between you and Rama is like the difference between lion and a dog. Yadantaram simma sirgalayor vane. Yadantaram sendanika samudrayoho. Difference between the ocean and a kuttai." Kuttai in English? Puddle. This is how she is going on talking. So is it not looking down a dog or a puddle? That kind of question may come. Again, it is purely based on might. Regarding might, it's a fact that a dog cannot become equal to lion. It's a fact. It is not a prejudice. If there is a fight between a dog and a lion, dog has to get lost. Okay. So Sita is talking about that fact. You can't take it as a prejudice. Please understand. This is the first point. Second Purva Paksha, this is a very vital point. Second one is a very vital point. In 2 or 3 places, I think in 3 places, Valmiki Ramayana describes several dreams, where these dreams are taken to be bad omens. In these dreams, some animals come, like Ravana sitting on a pig. Trijata sees Ravana sitting on a pig. Therefore, pig was looked down. Comes in dream, right? And Kumbhakarna was sitting on Ushtra, camel. He has to sit on camel only, I think, for his tall feature. Ushtrena Kumbhakarnascha, Varahena Dasagrivaha, Shimshumarena cha Indrajit. Okay. All these things come in Trijata Swapna. So, can we take that these animals were taken to be bad? Can be. This is an exception. These 3 places in such a huge epic. Epic is not very small. In such a huge epic, these 3 places, let me agree, let me accept, these 3 are exceptional. We can take that in that way also. I have one more suggestion also. What is that? Don't think that whatever is taken to be inauspicious in our belief are in reality taken as bad. Yeah. For example, if we start our journey If a Brahmin comes, it is taken to be inauspicious. And the society did not look down Brahmins in reality. This has to be understood. And listening to the donkey's noise is taken to be auspicious. Panchakalyani, she is called as Panchakalyani. Donkey's noise is taken to be very, very auspicious. It's a good woman. But in reality, donkey is looked down in the existing Indian human society. So, we need not confuse this with that. The omens in dream may not in reality be looked down. Okay, this is my suggestion regarding this. Except these dreams coming in Ramayana, that too in only 3 places. Throughout the epic, when you go through any other literary work, you can see while the characters are talking each other, sometimes they will hurt others, or they will, they will ridicule others by calling as animals. Okay, you are animalish. A donkey, a piggy. That is how the characters call each other. Hope that you understand. In many literary works, you may go to Shakespearean masterpieces or any kind of literary. Take for example Mahabharata. Bhimasena is walking. Dushasana is ridiculing Bhimasena as, you are a cow, you are a cow, you are a cow. Okay. Bhima was highly hurt by these words. And finally, Bhimasena is in war. Bhimasena is about to kill Dushasana. There, Bhimasena was dancing. Dushasana was about to die. At the time, Bhimasena was shouting, whoever called us as cows are now dying. I am now calling you as cow. Ye purasmana pranrityanti punar gauriti gauriti tan punaha pratinrityamaha punar gauriti gauriti. That is how Bhimasena is stamping Dushasana. See, I am not telling whether it is right or wrong. These kinds of expressions cannot be found in Ramayana. Calling someone as cow, or ridiculing someone as, pig or piggy or doggy, that kind of thing you can never see in Ramayana. That is one aspect of it. One more thing. There is only one shloka. There is only one shloka in the whole epic. In the 6th Kanda, Yuddha Kanda, 63rd chapter, 14th shloka, Kumbhakarna calls those who act without intelligence as pashubuddhis. Okay. They are animal-minded. They are animalish. They are animal-minded. Except this shloka, nowhere in the epic this kind of expression is found. Kumbhakarna says this in the court of Ravana. Ravana brought Sita. Kumbhakarna is cursing Ravana there. And Kumbhakarna was brought into court. Kumbhakarna was sleeping. He was brought into court. There he says that without acting without intelligence is the person is pashubuddhi, he says. It's the only place. And it's not a surprise. Again I am telling. If Rakshasas see animals down, because in the epic there are so many places where Rakshasas view sapiens themselves as down. They look at sapiens in a very ordinary way. They look down sapiens, they look down Vanaras. So if they look down animals, it is not a surprise. The Rakshasas view. Okay, next one thing, next Purvapaksha I take. Yanti rajarshayas mrgayam dharma kovidaha tasmat tvam nihato yuddhe maya bhanena vanare ayudhyan pratiyudhyan va yasmat shaka mrgo hyasi. It's a very interesting place. Rama's answer to Vali. When you go through this shloka, Yanti Rajarshiyas Mrgayam Dharma Kovidaha. Even the great Rajarshis go for hunting. Therefore, O Vanara, I have killed you. Tasmatam Nikato Yuddhe. In this war. Therefore, I killed you in this war. Whether you fight with me or not, Ayudhyan Pratiyudhyan va. Yasmat Shakamrugo Hyasi. Since you are a monkey, I killed you in hunting, whether you wage war with me or not. As even the great Rajarshis go for hunting. This is a shloka in Kishkinda Kanda. Here there are very interesting things, very interesting observations. A Ramayana scholar named Sri Sitarama Shastrihal, in his book Srimad Valmiki Muni Hridaya Tattvasara Prakasika, very long title, huh? Book was published in 1943, and I saw this reference in Tuklak. Tuklak magazine, Ramayana came, you know. Yes. Of course, main author is Cho, and that name alone is given there. It has some other authors too. One of the authors is my friend. He is Parasuramanji, a very great Ramayana scholar. He is now there in Chennai. Okay. On seeing this reference in that text in Ramayana, I called him and requested, I want this book. Then he gave this book to me. Okay. I went through the book. It's a very interesting book. I'm not going into details of this book now. Tasmatum Nihato Yuddhe Maya Banena Vanara. In this book, Sitarama Shastrihal raises a very important question. The word Yuddhe comes here. Tasmatum Nihataha Yuddhe. Yuddha definition. What is Yuddha in Ramayana? Not only in Ramayana, in Sanskrit dictionary. Yuddha means the battle of two persons. The battle in which both of them are involved. That alone can be called as Yuddha. Therefore, this Vali Rama war is a war in which both of them were involved. It is not one man's attack of another man who is not fighting. This is his view. I am not going into his view. This is his view. But I take this word Yuddha. Definitely Yuddha means the involvement of both in war. This word is here in shloka. Immediately after this shloka, in the next shloka, Ayudhyan Pratiyudhyan va. Yasmat Shaka Mrugo Hyasi. Whether you fight or not, you are hunted by me. Since you are a monkey, Shaka Mrugaha. This idea comes. Very, very interesting. See, the word Yuddha comes in the first line. The second line, whether you fight or not, I attacked you. This comes. The shloka, the first line and the second line are contradicting each other is a fact. Okay. They are contradicting each other is a fact. And in this context, while I was analyzing the various recensions of the epic, I went through various recensions, especially in this 18th chapter of Kishkinda Kanda. The Western recension, Western don't take as European recension, or there is nothing called European recension for Ramayana. Okay. Recension, you know, means Patha. Patha. Western recension means Gujarati and Marathi recension, which was highly followed by Sant Ekanath or Samartha Ramadas. You know Bhavartha Ramayana? Bhavartha Ramayana is not just one more Ramayana, please understand. It is not like Ramcharitamanas. It is not a Kamba Ramayana. It is a commentary to Valmiki's Ramayana. Please understand it. Valmiki Ramayana shlokas are given and its commentary is given, then shlokas are given. You might have seen Jnaneshwari, right? Like that. Shlokas are given, and there this Western recension Pata Sant Ekanath follows. And Samartha Ramadas too, he made a manuscript. He prepared his first sadhana. Prathama Lihane, Samartha Ramadas says. His bhakti starts with Lekhana. He came to Panchavati at the age of 13, right? யாராவது எடுத்துன்னு வர முடியுமா அந்த புக்கை? இதாக ஏற்பாடு பண்ண முடியுமா? Samartha Ramadas writing. Okay. Prathama Lihane. So his bhakti starts with Lekhanam. The age of 13, he left his family and came to Panchavati to start his tapasya. What he did first, he wrote the whole of Valmiki Ramayana. He prepared the manuscript. And that manuscript is available up to our times. This is very interesting. See, at the age of 13, this boy in Panchavati wrote Valmiki Ramayana, and it is available up to our times. It is even now available in Dhule. Dhule is a place nearby Panchavati. Samartha's disciple on those days got this manuscript from Samartha Ramadas himself, and he preserved it. And in his own lineage, a great saint came. His name is Sri Shankara Krishna Dev. He built a temple. For what? For this book, which is called as Samartha Vagdevata Mandir. Okay. In that he placed this book, and Aradhana and all puja, all these things are offered to this book there, up to our time. The lineage belonging to this Sri Shankara Krishna Dev is preserving this book, this manuscript of Samartha Ramadas. Coming back to the point, this is Western recension, Western Pata. There the shloka comes in this way: Tasmatvam nihato vadyaha maya banena vanara avadhyamano yuddhe saumya shakha mrigohyasi. Yes, subtle kind of difference between other patas and this pata. Okay. Tasmattum nihato vadyaha maya banena vanara. My dear Vali, because Saumya means my dear. My dear Vali, even Rajarshis go for hunting. Tasmatu tvam. Therefore, you are also killed by my arrow. Rama says this. This is very clear. And the word yuddhe doesn't come here, so that controversy is avoided in this pata. The word yuddha doesn't come here. You are killed in mrigaya dharma. And the reason for that, here Rama doesn't say, since you are a monkey, you are killed in that way. He is not telling that way. He says some other thing. Avadhyamano yuddhe sau. In yuddha, you are indestructible. Please understand. Why? We don't know. There must be so many reasons for that. Probably what Dharmakuta Vyakhyanakara says, that also can be the reason, which Sri Anna says in his Upanyasam. Like if he comes to know Rama has come, he may hide Ruma in some other place. Or this is what Dharmakuta Vyakhyanakara says. What Sri Anna says is, he may send all Vanaras to fight with Vali. For some unknown reason, I am just showing this. இல்லப்பா இது இல்லை, இதில் அவரோட எழுத்தே வரல. இன்னொரு புக்கு வேணும். இதை தவிர மீது எல்லா புக்லையுமே எழுத்துருப்பேன். ஏதாவது ஒரு புக் எடுத்து. Where I left? Yes. For some unknown reason, Vali is indestructible. Okay. Vali is indestructible in war. In the face-to-face combat. Ayudhyamanaha Yuddhe ayudyamanaha shakhamrugaha asi. You are indestructible Vanara in the face-to-face war. Therefore, I adopted hunting dharma, mrgaya dharma. This is the meaning. Okay. And this meaning fits. It doesn't bring any controversy like, not controversy, contradiction like yuddha and ayudhyan pratiyudhyan va. These kinds of contradictions it doesn't bring. And shloka appeals to me. Okay. Avadyamano yuddhe. So when you make the anvaya, it goes like this. Avadyamanaha yuddhe avadyamanaha shakamrugaha hyasi. You are indestructible Vanara in war. Therefore, I adopted Mrgaya Dharma to kill you. You need to be killed, no doubt in it. Okay. You deserve capital punishment. That he cleared already. Cleared already. Why? For 3 reasons. 1, adultery. 2, rape. 3, incest. Okay. He doesn't give any other reason. He is not talking blah, 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 Rama. Oh, you sent Sugriva out. Sugriva was roaming and you are beating. Therefore, I killed. If he tells so many things, the point will be missing. Well, while we go through the 18th chapter, the chapter is very, very sharp and precise. He only deals with very few things. He is picking the words and talking. In that, you see, point number 1, who am I? He defines himself. Rama defines, that was the beginning. First, he talks about conscience as pramana. Second, he defines himself. When he is telling who am I, he is not telling I am omnipotent, omniscient Lord, I have come here. He is just telling I am a government servant. Vayam tu Bharata Desham. Bharata is the ruler and we are his workers. Rama says this. And we are roaming in the world to find out whether everything is in dharmic path. He defines it very clearly. Because even if he shows fault with Vali, Vali will come with another question. Who are you to take charge of it? Therefore, he defined himself. I am from government appa. Okay. Just showing, I want to share with you. This is the manuscript, Samartha Ramada's handwriting. Okay. It's a manuscript from Dhule. They are kind enough to publish the whole of manuscript also. Whatever is there in manuscript is printed here. Okay. The whole thing comes like this. And at the age of 13, he has written this. And in Dasbodh, he has dedicated a separate chapter. How to write and how to make margins. He deals with a lot about writing in the whole chapter. The way in which it has to start, the same way, the neatness has to be maintained till the end, he says. The neatness, okay. So many things he talks. Manuscript is in Devanagari. So many things he talks about, and it should be straight line, all these things he talks in Dasbodh. And whatever he is talking in Dasbodh, he is maintaining here. Maintaining the Dasbodh he wrote in his middle age. And when he was a boy, he wrote it. But you can see the consistency. And in Dasbodh, he says, when Ityarshe comes, it should be in a different color. Here also he maintains the same thing. In red color, Ityarshe. And when every Kanda should have a painting, he says. Here, in beginning of Kishinda Kanda, in Aranya Kanda, Samartha Ramadas has painted few things. Okay. Vasanta Rutu, spring season he has painted. This is Kishinda Kanda. In Kishinda Kanda, he has painted this. These are all beautiful paintings, yes. Rama, Lakshmana, this is spring season. Rama is missing Sita. That is painted here by Samartha Ramadas himself. Okay. And Dasbodh he writes, in every Kanda, beginning, you have to paint. It's very interesting. Rama. And we also have a plan. In next conference, we wish to invite a scholar from Dhule who has published this, okay, to talk about this recension, Western recension of Ramayana. Coming back to the point, yeah. And Rama gave a very convincing answer. Due to your fault of adultery, rape, and incest, you are killed. That is enough. That is enough. There is no need of any answer at all. After that, there is a statement. After giving all this convincing answer, after that, there is a statement, Shrunu chapi aparam. Listen to another reason also. Then this sloka comes, Yanti Rajarshiyas Chatra. Even Rajarshis go for hunting. Therefore, you are killed in this yuddha, whether you wage war with me or not. The sloka appears to have some discrepancy. That is why I was going through all the manuscripts, and I am convinced with this manuscript sloka, Tasmatvam Nihato Yuddhe Vadyo, Tasmatvam Nihato Vadyo, Maya Banena Vanara, Avadyamano Yuddheso, Saumya Shakamrugohyasi. Okay. My dear, you are, again I repeat, Tasmatvam Nihato Vadyaha. You deserve capital punishment, Vadyaha. You deserve capital punishment for your incest and adultery. Therefore, I killed you, but through Mrigaya Dharma, because Avadyamanaha Shakamrugaha Yuddhe, you are indestructible in war. This is a very convincing reply by Ramachandra. This is what I view. One more thing, even though the 18th chapter is sharp and precise, in other recensions, more than other recensions in Gujarati or Western or Marathi recension, this chapter is more precise, I view, even sharper and more precise, more short and sweet. Whether it is sweet or not, shorter, that is what I view. If this occurs in this way, then we can definitely say that this is more original also. Let me give you another example, Draupadi Vivaha. In Sabha Parva, there are various discussions regarding Draupadi's marriage. Draupadi's marriage is a very, very controversial thing in Mahabharata. Various discussions occur regarding Draupadi's marriage in Sabha Parva. But same Draupadi marriage comes in Aranya Parva too as a flashback. There, this Draupadi's marriage is very precise and sharp, and to me at least, highly convincing. Several stories which are occurring in Sabha Parva regarding Draupadi's marriage, I see there are some unnecessary intrusion and interpolations. Better we can see that Aranya Parva's Draupadi's marriage as a flashback, which appeals to me more than what you see in Sabha Parva. Okay. I'm giving this as an example for its preciseness, its brevity and sharpness. Okay. In the controversial events of the epics, scholars tend to add so many things. There are so many stories and all. And some pata may represent the original. Regarding Vali Vada, regarding Draupadi marriage, I said Aranya Parva of Mahabharata. Regarding Vali Vada, this Western pata appears more appealing to me than any other pata. That is why I brought it here. Even though predominantly I stand for Govindarajiya pata, okay, that's a different thing. In this context I am telling, regarding Vali Vada I am telling. Next, one more thing, with that I conclude this aspect. In Yuddhakanda's 18th chapter, Kishindakanda's 18th chapter is over. Now Yuddhakanda's 18th chapter. Kapoto Vanarasreshta Kimpunar Madvido Janaha. Even a dove helped his guest by giving up his own life. Then why not me? Here appears to be a dove means inferior and I am superior. That kind of idea is conveyed in this shloka. Okay. Even if a dove is giving up his own life for the sake of hospitality, why not me? Rama says. Here also I go with the Gaudiya Patha, the eastern recension of Ramayana, which says, Kapoto Vanarasreshta Kimutaham Vibhishanam. It is not Kimpunar Madvidojana. Okay. A dove gave hospitality to his own enemy. Okay. Dove gave up his own life and revealed hospitality to his own enemy. And why not me for the great Vibhishana? It is not the strict hierarchy of dove and human. It is a strict hierarchy of enemy and Vibhishana. Okay. Even to an enemy, hospitality can be revealed by a dove. Why not for Vibhishana? This pata appears very appealing. Now let us come to this aspect. It's a very important aspect. Vanaras, are they monkeys? That question. Okay. Rama says that I have taken hunting dharma to kill you, my dear Vali. Probably with the southern recension, it can be because you are an animal, I have killed in that way. But regarding western recension, because you are indestructible, I took Mrgaya dharma. I took hunting dharma. This is the western recension, Maharashtra recension, I said. Okay, fine. So anyhow, hunting dharma is taken. It is taken as a Shukraniti since he is indestructible, not as an animal. Can Vali be considered as an animal? Yes, he can be considered as an animal, not in this context. For some other purpose, Vanaras are considered as animals in Valmiki Ramayana in several other places. Okay. In this context, I am not very much convinced. In Rama's answering context, since you are an animal, I hunted you. That thing is not very much convincing for me. But in few other contexts, rarely, please understand, very, very rarely, Valmiki describes Vanaras as animals. Like Dadrisatuhu Mrgapatim. The next expression, Mrgapati, is there. Okay, lot of animals. The word Mrga is used for Vanaras in such a huge epic 2 or 3 places. Okay. And we see throughout the epic, Vanaras have tails. Of course, in paintings we see they are all monkey-faced. That is the Sampradaya. Let us maintain that Sampradaya. I don't say that you have to correct it, rectify it, no. Our elders showed Vanaras only in that way. Whether they were monkey-faced or not, I don't see anywhere in Valmiki Ramayana a description that they are monkey-faced. But definitely they had a tail. They had a tail. Okay. And some people may interpret that tail is a totem. Some people interpret in that way. I don't bother whether they interpret or not. But in Valmiki Ramayana, they had tails. This one thing. And rarely they are described as Mrgapatis. These two things are there. Okay, fine. And in one place, Valmiki differentiates these Vanaras from monkeys. Please understand. Simultaneously, he describes both Vanaras and ordinary apes. There he says, Prakrita Vanaramscha in Yuddhakanda. He is describing in the mountain various animals, There again he is describing some monkeys. There he differentiates. These Vanaras are different from Vanaras brought by Rama. Yeah. Some apes jumping here and there in Lanka, he is describing in Yuddhakanda. He deliberately shows these apes are ordinary apes, which are not Vanaras who came with Rama. This is what he says. Coming back to the point. Yeah. But anyhow, in 2 or 3 places, he calls Vanaras as Mrigapatis, point number 1. Point number 2, tails are there to these Vanaras. Just with this, you can't literally take these Vanaras as monkeys. Moreover, point number 3, they are called as Vanaras, first of all. In Sanskrit dictionary, Vanara has 2 meanings. One apes, another one Vananaras, forest humans. Okay, these 2 meanings are there. And these armies, they have the term Vanara. Okay, fine. With all these things, can we take, in literal sense, Vanara strictly to be monkeys? I don't think so. We can't take in that way. Neither I take as humans. Vanaras, as per Valmiki, is a different clan which contains some human features, like some monkey features. They talk, this is human. They have Vedic rituals, that is human. And they have a civilization, they rule, they have kingdom, those things are there. Of course, apes also rule. Apes also have communities. It's a different thing. Okay. These things, and they dress. These things are there. And some of them are great scholars. Some women also, Tara, for example. Tara is a very great scholar. Vali says, since I gave up the counseling of Tara, I faced this tragedy. You don't give up anywhere the counseling of Tara. She will be your best mantri, Vali says to Sugriva. And the medieval age texts we are seeing everywhere, women should not be allowed as mantris. But in Ramayana, the advice is like this. Tara is the best mantri for Sugriva and Vali. That is how we see. And therefore, counseling is there. In counseling, scholarship is there. Tara herself is a scholar. She quotes from scriptures. When she is talking. And she also thoroughly understands the Vedanta spoken by Hanuman and Rama. And she is matured enough to counsel even Lakshmana. Lakshmana stands as a child in front of Tara. Such a great man who came with a very great rage. He was totally calmed by Tara. These kinds of people are there among Vanaras. You can't take them literally as monkeys. Neither they belong to some human group in Valmiki Ramayana. So they are a separate group, I agree. But in some places, why the word Mrigapati is used by Valmiki, in 2 or 3 places. There I view Valmiki wants to establish a symbiotic relationship. Symbiotic relationship also is a theme of Valmiki's Ramayana. Therefore, he shows rarely Vanaras as animals. Please understand. I hope that you understand the symbiotic relationship. In fact, the institute which I studied is Symbiosis Institute of Management, SIMS. Okay. What is the symbiotic relationship? Like when you come here, first long back, before some 4 or 5 years, we came here. Before the construction of these buildings, before 5 to 6 years, we came here. A cow was standing. Upon the cow, a crow was sitting. They were playing each other. On seeing this, our Shiva, Vaidyalingamji, he said, wow, such a symbiotic relationship. Okay, this is the symbiotic relationship. The crow is playing with cow. Okay. So Valmiki wants to bring all the species into the epic. vultures, and animals. All these things to the epic. Therefore, he portrays Vanaras as animals in few places. And this got imprinted, Rama, in our heart too. Please understand. This got imprinted in our heart too. Where? In our culture, several places. When I was in Udumalai, we went into deep forest, a village named Marayur, where myself and 2 or 3 persons, we stopped the car and we started to walk. An old man, his name is Rajamani Mama, and he said, you go for a walk, I will be sitting here. And his wife said, please take care. So many things, so many fruits are kept inside the car. If you open the glass, monkeys will enter. Then we went for a walk, we came back. This old man never bothered at all. He opened the glasses, so many monkeys came inside. He was playing with the monkeys, offering the fruits. Come on, you eat. You have that fruit. My dear, you take this fruit. This mommy is seeing, mommy was tensed. Hey, what are you doing? The monkeys are falling upon you. I don't care. Why? Anjaneyar. This is Hinduism. Because these monkeys are Hanumantappa, Anjaneya. Okay, this is symbiotic relationship. So Valmiki has established a symbiotic relationship. Okay. In this way, the whole culture throughout India, to establish this symbiotic relationship only, Valmiki describes Vanaras as monkeys in few places. And some people will come. Stamping some groups as monkeys, is it not bad? Is it not looking down? Hey, I'm telling monkeys themselves are not looked down. Please understand. Ramayana is a time, an era, which is absolutely where you can see the absolute absence of looking down of any species like animals or birds. Please understand that. Then how can you see that Vanaras are looked down by describing them as monkeys? Okay, that has to be understood. And this I connect with some other thing also. I don't have time now. In my book, Ramayana Insights, there is a very big article, Monkey God. Monkey God is Manuki God, Manuki Devata. Okay, there is a separate article named Monkey God. It has taken another shape also in Ramananda Sampradaya. When you go through the several sons, saints, what kind of life they lead? They are in Vanara Bhava. In Samartha Sampradaya also, Kula Hanumantatse, we belong to the Kula of Hanuman. Yesterday or day before yesterday, Maithili was singing that song in Hanumanta Vahana. Okay. We belong to Hanumat Kula. Hanumat. So Hanuman is our Baba. Hanuman is our first Acharya. And we all adore him. He is directly the disciple of Ramachandra and Sita Devi. Okay. And we all adore him. And we take this Vanara Bhava to ours. And we are Vanaras. Someone in the court of Shivaji asked, this is how Sant Vijayam says. There is a very big book called Dasa Vijayam or Sant Vijayam. Same book is named as Sant Vijayam, Dasa Vijayam. Shivaji was a young boy. Some court person was concerned. He's a young boy, his father is sitting somewhere in Bengaluru. And he's a young boy, he is now Jagirdar of Pune. He should be taken care very well. We are his father's persons. So we need to take care. He is immature fellow. He went somewhere to river Krishna and he is telling, I saw my guru, I found out my guru. His name is Samartha Ramadas and all. We need to find whether he is true guru or fake guru. Therefore, this senior person told Shivaji, my dear Shivaji, if you go to your guru next time, you ask him, what is his gotra? This comes in Dasavijayam. Okay. Shivaji next time came to his guru. Of course, Samartha Ramadas belongs to this Bhargava Gotra. That's a different thing. Hey Gotra Maje, Samartha himself says that in another context, not here. When Shivaji suddenly asked, what is your Gotra, sir? Ramdas said, Vanara Gotra. So, what is this Vanara concept here? This is nothing but living like Vanaras, happily, without saving, okay, without staying in a particular place, roaming and enjoying the life in forest. That kind of life is taken to be the concept of Vanara in Samartha Sampradaya and Ramananda Sampradaya, for which Hanuman is considered to be the greatest Acharya. Hanuman is taken to be a Baba. Hanuman Baba. Kripa Karu, what is that? Gurudeva ki nai. And yes, there is one passage in Hanuman Chalisa where Hanuman is taken to be Baba himself. I have forgotten that passage. Gosai. Jai 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 Hanuman Gosai. That is how it comes. And what kind of Baba he is? Without a least of expectation he is. Ram Rasayana Tumre Pasa. Sada Raho Raghupati Ke Dasa. This is called as Vanara Baba or Vanara Gotra in Ramananda Sampradaya or in Samartha Sampradaya. In fact, it is written in Ramakrishna's life history also. Ramakrishna for several months practiced this Vanara Bhava in a place called Panchavati in Bengal, not Maharashtra Panchavati or Godavari, this Andhra Pradesh Panchavati. It is in Bengal, there is a place called Panchavati where Sri Ramakrishna led his life for several months in this Vanara Bhava. At the end of this Vanara Bhava, it is told he had darshan of whom? Darshan of Sita. It's interesting. Neither it is told he had darshan of Hanuman or Rama. Okay, he had Sita darshan. He culminates, this Vanara Bhava culminates in Sita darshan. It is told in like that. Okay, coming back, okay, it is time already. So hope that I will have some time in the evening too. I will continue, okay? Few more things have to be covered. Evening I will cover it. Dhanyavada. And next lecture will be 9, okay? Is it okay? 45 minutes enough? 8:15 or one more hour is required? 9:15, yeah. Jai Sitaram.